out you're not available in Oregon.
Back up by 4 points. The kick is blocked. The kick is blocked. This could be advanced. The PAT is blocked by Kansas City Big because it keeps it at 3 points.
Are back. And so are JT, Beyonce, Usher, and Rihanna. Along with the rest of the pop hits that shaped the sound of the new millennium. SiriusXM's Pop 2K, a non-stop commercial-free flashback to the era of boy bands, telephones, and MP3s. On Channel 10. To hear this channel, activate your radio now. Call 844-711-8800 or head to SiriusXM.com/go to sign up quickly.
Amazing moments happen so much at SiriusXM. We want you to see them. SiriusXM Video lets you watch your favorite SiriusXM shows on the SiriusXM app. Groundbreaking interviews, amazing in-show moments, behind-the-scenes footage, live performances, all come to life in a way you only imagined before. Plus, you can create your own personalized Pandora station based on the artists you love. And hear over 100 extra channels filled with ad-free music for every mood or occasion. Get your first 6 months of our Platinum plan for only $8.33 per month, plus fees and taxes. Just call 844-711-8800 to take advantage of this amazing offer.
You ready for start time?
Plus in-depth interviews, historical deep dives, new shows, and more.
What's going on? I'm Kevin Hart, and you don't want to miss my show? Gold Mines with me, Kevin Hart.
Just search Black History Month in the all-new SiriusXM app.
There you go now.
I think I'm recording.
Oh, let's see. There you go now.
I think I'm recording.
Oh, let's see.
If you've been thinking about buying a home, you need to be in the zone, the home buying zone. You need a game plan to win in this great real estate market. The Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage has all your bases covered. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, purchasing your dream home, refinancing, consolidating debt, or even considering a reverse mortgage, contact the Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage today. They have the lowest closing costs, and they'll close your loan on time, guaranteed, or they'll pay your first mortgage payment. And they even have a 3.5% purchase down payment grant that can get you into a home with little money out of your pocket. It doesn't get more clutch than that, folks. Score big on the biggest purchase of your life. Call Equity Zone Mortgage today at 1-800-772-8624. That's 1-800-772-8624. Or apply online at equityzonemortgage.com and tell them Big C sent you, as heard on the Big C Sports Podcast. License number 01814.
Rondo Deportes, bonjour, vidi vidi vici, let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton of Big C Sports. This is Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to me, and people who love the universe. That would include you. What a beautiful day, February 13th, in 2024. We have a new Super Bowl champion, but they're not from Denver Hills, California. I did say, as I was asking people who's going to win Super Bowl 58, and someone told me the team in red. And I said, well, they both are red. But give that some praise. All fair level war. What a great day coming to you live, Big C Sports. I got my voice back because I was on so little sleep, it was hard to keep my eyes open. Sometimes you even drive with your eyes open, but your mind's asleep. But I was wide open. I wanted to say, give some praise to the most watched Super Bowl in the history of the universe. The 49ers 10 seconds away from winning, but it didn't happen because the Kansas City Chiefs, they found a way to win with a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, all fair level war. I do want to say, of course, it's easy to say this after the game, but I've been predicting most of the year, especially after about week 3, when the 49ers and the Chiefs are obviously considered two of the top teams in the league. Of course, they have a chance. But going down the back nine, I kept seeing a certain entertainer that the NFL kept showing in all of their games. especially when the Chiefs were playing. And obviously, I said they don't want that entertainer to not be involved in the celebration after the end of Super Bowl 58. Oh, fan of the work. The Big C Sports, you can follow 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 29 podcast applications all over the universe. I love doing that over the universe. And also streaming on 4 TV platforms, Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Really do appreciate that. But I want to say what I love about the show. It's a different show as it always is. I always produce the show. I direct the topics. Let me do it this way. Big C produces the show. Big C directs the topics. Big C broadcasts all the shows. Big C does all the sound effects based on the platform provided by the agency. We could all use more laughter in our lives. Big C does the commercials. Big C does all the stats providing. Big C does all the storytelling. Big C does all of the play-by-play. Oh, I can't believe what a game it was. Super Bowl 58. Big C uploads all of the shows to 29 podcast platforms out of New York City. And Big C never missed a show since joining Big C Sports with the crew back in the days at Salem Media. And I'm telling you what I love about Big C Sports Podcast. I know oftentimes we get caught up in sports, planes, trains, and automobiles. How do you get there? I want to pay homage to our Veterans Crisis Hotline. They really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. You know anybody going through issues, pick up the phone and call 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. And when you do, you want to give us some praise because we all need somebody to lean on. And it's nice when somebody's leaning back. Really do appreciate the Veterans Crisis Hotline. I want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3, where God said, reparations now, reparations forever. And then he said, let there be light. Now it's Super Bowl 58 in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. They had end racism on the back of one end zone under the goalpost, and they had it takes all of us on the other end zone. So I want to give the NFL some praise for that. They're not running away, but it'd be nice if they had a little bit more force behind it. All fair and level war. I really do appreciate the talk that we have of winning Super Bowls. Now imagine for all of the black Americans that love Super Bowl 58, and of course being in Las Vegas, Nevada for the event, there's a lot of people that show up and they want to watch us play. They want to watch us play with balls. There's nothing wrong with playing balls. Been doing it all my life. But imagine if we could get this same kind of push for reparations as we have for the Super Bowl. It's a great event. I mean, obviously, being in Las Vegas is full of energy, lots of energy. People really don't sleep. But I'm just being candid. I know teams want to go to Vegas, and it's obviously, you can see it when you get into town. There's so many bright lights, and they have the city clean. But after about 3 or 4 days, being there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then leaving Monday, to me it was enough. I mean, I'm not trying to say party pooper, but I see the attraction that people go to Vegas, but I feel like there's so much smoke in the air. I'm not a smoker, so it's nice to be able to breathe as opposed to having and seeing people light up another smoke. Like, why? Why do you put that crap on your body? Hey, but don't get mad at me. I'm just someone that's saying what I don't like for my body, and I don't like smoke. All that. Give not having smoke in your lungs some praise. I mean, everybody has their own thoughts about it. Not knocking anybody that loves to pollute their lungs with smoke. You have a trace called COPD. If you get to the end of that healthy, if that makes sense to you, man, I don't know why people. How do you walk around? There's so much smoke. People take their babies when the baby's born. In the old days, they would slap the baby. They slap the baby on the backside like the baby go, wah, wah, wah. Nowadays, at least in that city, there's so much smoke. Like, and then people hit another slot machine. What in the world makes a human being say, I have a beautiful baby girl or a beautiful baby boy, give the baby a cigarette? Who in the world? I mean, I know it's an addiction, but give that to your baby? No. Why do people give it to adults? You wouldn't even give a $1 million horse a cigarette. And people learn to put it in their mouth and suck it so deep you get COPD, if that makes sense to you. I couldn't even breathe. My eyes are burning. Why you complaining, Big C? It's the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, life is so funny. Everything's highly overpriced. You pay $5,000 just to breathe. I'm not knocking it. I love the game, but it's priced out the people that love it. Mostly people that are considered African American that make up 75% of the league and don't own any teams. But they've managed to suck money out of people's wallets like vacuum cleaner sucks out dirt. Nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, it's getting more and more where people who make up the face of the league, their families can't buy a ticket. I'm hearing tickets going for $10,000, as little as $5,000. And, I mean, Floyd Mayweather bought up a suite, I think, over $1 million. If you have that kind of money, no big deal. But when I see so many of our young, beautiful, intelligent black boys being funneled into the sports business by their parents, and if you don't make the league, you can't even go to a ticket for the most part. Not everybody, but for the most part. Who justifies spending $10,000 on a ticket to watch men play with balls? I've seen black men play with balls my whole life. Never did it cost me $10,000. But all's fair and level war. You pay the price of what you want to do. And I want to give the Super Bowl some praise because it was a great game. It was a great game, and Las Vegas obviously got what they wanted out of it. But I tell you, there's so much that I don't want to forget because, you know, I am the reparations specialist. My program's inimitable. Nobody talks about reparations the way Big C Sports does. After all the smoke is gone and your eyes aren't burning, I could use a bubble bath. Had several bubble baths that really helped a lot. But I really do appreciate good company, good friends, and obviously some players that I know in the NFL. You know, they're affected by different things, different ways. So I won't even get into that. But sometimes things change. But when you care about people, you just realize you do the best you can to give people praise. I want to give people praise. I want to also say with the big show, I will always, you know, what hasn't changed about the sports universe for Big C Sports. I'm the same as I was before the Super Bowl. And even if he came, he saw, he conquered. I want to always pay homage to the California Reparations Task Force because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And we can get our beautiful, intelligent black men and black women and even white men and white women to stand behind doing the right thing. Does it really matter what color someone is if you're doing the right thing? Yes, it does, Big C. Oh, why do you say that? Oh, you haven't heard about history? We know that as descendants of chattel slavery, black Americans, African Americans, haven't always been treated fair in this country. By a law, Jim Crow laws, black codes, pig laws, slavery. We know reparations is necessary. But I don't want us to be sidetracked because of the touchdown Niners! Touchdowns, Kansas City! I don't want us to be jaded by that. And it won't be on my show. And everybody has their own flavor. I've been listening to many different guys do their thing. Nothing wrong with that. Being even on the set of CBS and doing some stand-up commercials, and I really just see the energy behind it. But I think that people can pull for a team because they have the same jersey on. And there was a lot of 49er fans ran into in Southern California. I keep saying Southern California, but it was Southern Nevada and Las Vegas. And then very few Kansas City Chiefs fans, mostly 49ers. They were all over. It's just about a 7-hour drive from the Bay Area. It depends on how fast you drive. And there's a lot of opportunities. Also have the chance to have an office in beautiful Las Vegas with the Big C team. And I'm telling you, all you athletes that come into the Big C team, influence of the Big C Sports team, I want to tell you that the Big C team under RDC Consulting Inc. also has an office in beautiful Las Vegas near the airport. We learn so much about business, helping you learn to protect your assets. It's you. I'm doing a commercial for Super Bowl 58. It's for Big C Sports. It's called How to Protect Your Assets. You know, the Kansas City Chiefs, they've been doing that, and they were able to protect the assets of Patrick Mahomes, and that's he became MVP in Super Bowl 58. Nothing wrong with that. But I tell you, we do long-term care solutions by the book, and you and Medicare 2017, also 2024, and Care for Tomorrow and Medi-Cal. I want to also say something outside of football. There was a program put together by President Lyndon Baines Johnson, and Dr. Martin Luther King was right there when he signed civil rights into law. But people do not know, many people, I would say 9 out of 10 do not know there was an entitlement signed into law. What does that do? It helps you and your family avoid the spend down for nursing home costs You can find out your options 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624. That's 800-772-8624. Learn how to protect your ass sex. If that makes sense to you, we specialize to navigate and maximize long-term care benefits. Protect your ass sex. With the new law, as of 2024, there's no spend down. In California, all paperwork and communication with all government agencies are handled by our staff of entitlement specialists, ongoing consulting to provide updates for as necessary, benefits covering skilled nursing facilities, prescriptions, medical equipment costs, and more protection of your ass sex. If you ever want to protect your ass sex, no, not Affleck, that's the duck. I'm protecting your ass sex. Are you saying ass flat like the duck? Affleck, no, ass sex. Protect your ass sex. 800-772-8624, including your home, thereby allowing you to leave a legacy for your family, avoiding the nightmare debt brought by the government's estate recovery program, which can be up to 40%, a one-time processing fee versus monthly insurance premiums. For the rest of your life, give Big C some praise. Give me some praise. And a touchdown if that doesn't matter to you. Got my voice back, but got to get some of that smoke out of my lungs. All's fair in love and war. I want to say I love doing sports. I've been doing it, my goodness, most of my life. But I also want to make sure, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only sports show in the universe that still pays homage to African Americans in the California Reparations Task Force. I will do it until we get reparations, which is coming this year. So for people that not really sure about it, that's okay. That's why God helped you create Big C Sports Podcast, because I'm going to talk about things that people may not know about it, either lead, follow, or get out of the way. But before I get into the Super Bowl, and I will, I love giving praise to the California Reparations Task Force. As I tell you, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. I want to give thanks to the chair, Camila Moore. She's the chair of the task force. I love giving her praise, as I hear other radio shows talk about, we got to praise them. I hear that on this, I guess they call the sports leader KMBR San Francisco. They want to give them praise. Most of their broadcasters are Caucasian men, and Caucasian men in church don't talk about praise. That's a black thing. And they got it from Big C Sports. Give Big C Sports some praise! Start using the word praise on a talk show that has no black people, except for one. I want to thank Dr. Emmett C. Brown. He's the vice chair of the Reparations Task Force. I give him praise. I want to thank the #1 senator in the universe in the United States of America, California Senator Stephen Bradford, because he's working on the California Reparations Task Force. Oh my goodness, I got some more to talk about him. He's just a brilliant man. I want to give praise to Councilmember Monica Montgomery. She's brilliant. Love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Assembly Member Reginald Jones Sawyer. He's brilliant. Love giving him praise. I want to give praise to Dr. Shell Grill. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Attorney Lisa Holder. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Dr. Javon Scott Lewis, professor at California, Berkeley. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. And I want to give praise to Attorney Donald K. Tamaki, part of the California Reparations Task Force. As a Japanese American, he got reparations. Give him all praise. Give him all praise. And I really do appreciate that. I want to thank this is CNN, the proud sponsor of the Big C Sports. I love giving them praise. I want to give praise to O Executive Payout Committee for the National Black Wall Street Project. She sent me Executive Order 13985 on further advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. That's called the White House. Big C, you talk a little too fast. You think I talk fast? Think about those people that say we don't deserve no reparations. How fast they talk. Yeah, I talk fast because I think fast, if that makes sense to you. I want reparations to happen fast. Well, right now it's taking longer than it should have, but I really do appreciate people that help. I want to thank also Senator Marco Rubio and Senator Rick Scott of Florida, who reintroduced the Holocaust Survivors' Rights Bill, and no one complained. And they did that last year in 2023. I want to thank Georgetown University for issuing reparations, pledging over $1 billion and counting to 272 families, descendants of chattel slavery that were sold off to build Georgetown. They were selling men, women, and children. Imagine going to school to pick up your child. They say, oh, we sold your child. What? Yeah, we had to pay off some debts to build a university. You sold my child? Yeah, we had to pay off some debts to build a university. Thanks for all the money. What? And people wouldn't complain about that. They would go to court to get that child back. Nobody's done that yet for descendants of chattel slavery. We still talk about paying reparations, and it's going to happen this year, 2024. I want to also thank O Payout Committee for the National Black Wall Street Project. She sent me this article from the United Nations. Who are the United Nations, Big C? United Nations are world leaders, and it says that strong leadership and political will are crucial to ensure reparatory justice for people of African descent. You mean they didn't talk about football, Big C? No, they didn't talk about the game. They didn't talk about standing up for the kickoff. It says it's important. It came out September 19, 2023, and you can find it. Just Google it. It was the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights with the United Nations. It's important. And it says an in-depth United Nations report focused on reparatory justice for people of African descent. And it urges states to show strong leadership and political will in tackling the lasting consequences of enslavement, the trade of enslaved Africans, and colonialism. Now, some people say, well, we just watched a football game. There's a lot of African Americans playing. Exactly. And they're getting paid. Now, imagine if they did not pay them, that would be like slavery, wouldn't it? Would you stand up and cheer then? A lot of white people did. When they got the Homestead Act, 1862, over 300 million acres of land given away to white people and white Europeans. All you had to do was be white. What must that feel like? Ask the people who got the land. They didn't have to work for it. They didn't go to the bank, get a deposit for it. They didn't get a credit card limit for it. The government gave it to them. I want to thank T-Mobile, proud sponsors of Big C Sports Podcast, America's largest 5G network. I want to thank PNC Private Bank, proud sponsors of Big C Sports. And I won $6 million. I want to thank McDonald's, proud sponsors of Big C Sports, all fair and loving war. Before I get into the football game, I will always do my part on what's more important, and that's not watching men play with balls. Been doing it all my life, my whole life. And I really enjoy it. But I'd rather have my reparations. Don't get what did Billy D. Williams say, don't let the smooth taste fool you. All those guys running around making big time money, you're not getting paid. Why you so into it? And that's what I love about Big C Sports Podcast. I'm not shucking and driving. I'm not knocking anybody. People do what they want to do. But what I want to do is make sure that I'm not just a guy talking sports. That to me is important. It is so important that God has allowed me to do it over and over and over again. That's why I want to give Big C Sports some praise. But as you finish giving out the praise, I want you to Google Freedmen's Bank, F-R-E-E-D-M-E-N-S Bank. What's Freedmen's Bank, Big C? It's United States Bank, chartered by the United States Congress March 1865 to provide a place for former slaves to safely store their money. After several successful years in which freedmen deposited more than $60 million in the bank, it collapsed as a result of mismanagement and fraud. This is important. The need for the freed bank, the need for a bank for freed black Americans, African Americans, became evident during the American Civil War. African American soldiers, listen up, people, as we stand up to salute the military. As we stand up to salute the military. You know, they said Colin Kaepernick, they lost a job because he failed to salute the military and salute the flag. But no, he was just taking a knee because the military man told him to. He was more respectful. But African-American soldiers in the Union Army who were often denied access to conventional banks were often taken advantage of by swindlers. It was John W. Alford, a congressional minister, and Anson M. Sperry, a United States Army paymaster. They individually identified the need and attempted to foster the creation of such an institution in early 1865. Would you believe that Alford's efforts culminated in the legislation passed by Congress March 3rd, 1865, that incorporated Freedmen's Savings and Trust Company as a nonprofit financial institution. And then President Abraham Lincoln, he immediately signed the bill into law. Oh, Big C, how do you know? I told you, Google Freedmen's Bank. That's important. Now, here's another caveat. Unlike you going to the bank right now to get money that you put in to buy a house or a business or a car or just to start a business, pay for education, buy food, clothing, and shelter. Well, Freedmen's Bank, the money deposited was to be invested in stocks, bonds, treasury notes, or other securities of the United States. Unlike a conventional bank, the Freedmen's Bank was forbidden to make loans to the black depositors. And a board of 50 white trustees named to manage the bank's affairs, they stole the money. Why you seem so angry, Big C? Have somebody steal all your money from the bank and tell me how much you're going to shuck and jive. They did that to black Americans. And then we had 100 years of Jim Crow and the pig laws and the black codes and all the junk that went on prison industrial complex. They didn't do that to white kids. When white kids had drug problems, they've been sent them to rehab. They're doing it right now with fentanyl crisis. But they destroyed inner cities. They told black families, if you don't have a black man in the home, then you can get welfare programs that white people take advantage of more than anybody. The government created that. But you could not have a man in the house. Therefore, destroying the black family. The United States of America, the land of the free, the home of the brave, why would they do that, Big C? Ask Congress why they did that. Well, wouldn't they make it men's for it, Big C? Yeah, it's called reparations, to repair the harms. Imagine that. It made it difficult for black men to get a job. And then they say, we'll give you some assistance that white people benefited more than black people. But they told the black woman you can get benefits and payments as long as your man's not in the house. So do you starve your kids or have the man leave? Baby, I'm still looking to get some money coming in. I just need to just hold on tight. We almost ate today. So people did what the white people did. So any white person that says, oh, black people got welfare, the United States government gave white Americans over 300 million acres of land for free. They did not protect our assets of black Americans. They even gave the land to white Americans. You know how much money these land's worth? When you got land, you can go to a bank and get a loan, start a business, buy a house, you can start a farm, you can build commerce. From sea to shining sea. But they told black Americans, well, we're going to give you a song called Lift Up Your Voice and Sing. But we're going to let you play sports. You can chant, touchdown, home run, three-point play. Oh, man, Willie, let him go all the way. And if you don't make a team, then you're screwed. You got to have someone protect your assets. 800-772-8624. 800-772-8624. That's what I give you with Big C Sports. I love doing it. It's not for everybody. But I do say, well, Big C, what gives you credibility? What gives Big C Sports credibility? I'm going to tell you. You can Google NBC News, CBS News, ABC News, Fox News. The Associated Press, you can't get much bigger than that in the United States. They vet who you are before they write an article about you. It says California Reparations. California Reparations. It was March 30, 2023. I just told you I pay homage to the task force, and that meeting happened on the 29th. March 29th, 2023. The next day, would you believe the next day? The next day! The Associated Press, they called me that day, but the next day they printed the article. It was Janie Har. She called me. Listen why it's important, black Americans. I know the game's over. And you didn't get money for the Super Bowl 58. I'm trying to get you paid. It was ring, ring. Hello? Hi, is this Charlton Curry? Yes, this is Charlton. Hi, this is Janie Har, the Associated Press. I said, how'd you get my number? She said, we have our ways. I said, well, how can I help you? She said, I heard you speak at a reparations task force, and I want to get your thoughts. I said, if you heard me speak, you know my thoughts. I said, reparations now, reparations forever. And she said, why I have credibility to talk about reparations and sports. She said, Charlton Curry of Sacramento, California, who discusses reparations on his Big C Sports podcast that goes all over the world. It says cash payments are necessary, and that money talks. Who would complain about being paid after working? You know, people do life insurance policies so the beneficiaries can get the money when you pass away, but you couldn't be black. You couldn't be African American because it would not allow African Americans to have life insurance policies. Does that make sense to you? But the people who own slaves had insurance against the slaves. Does that seem fair? So unless you're just the dumbest person in the universe, how do you say that people don't deserve as a beneficiary of those who left them something? Who's going to tell you don't deserve it? So it's just going to steal it from you. Now, there are thieves. That's why they have jails for thieves. Because a thief thinks they can steal anything without being caught. And then they get caught. I was wondering if you could help me. You could help me get out of it. I didn't know what I was doing. They say, I'm really, really sorry. And that's what I don't need no apology. I just want the money that was bequeathed from past generations. Because if black people don't get it, that means white people get to keep it. Why would the slave owner get the bequeathed land and real estate money to his beneficiaries and the slaves couldn't? As human beings on the planet Earth, 9 series DNA, the first people on the planet, black people, according to Dr. Leakey and Gregory Mendel, according to science. And so we get so drunk in love in sport, they got us playing touchdown, home run, three-point play. Oh, man, Willie, he's gone all the way. And some people, that's all they're focused on. But I'm telling you, the Super Bowl is one day. Big C Sports goes on forever. Give that some praise. Every day, Monday through Friday, I'm going to rise and shine and do my thing that God allows me to do. So when people say, man, can't you just talk about the game? Well, the game's over. Yeah, but what about basketball? I will say I was wrong about something. It's okay to say when I'm wrong. No one likes being wrong. I was thinking that the NFL was going to champion reparations. In an ancillary way, they say end racism. But you end racism by paying reparations to the descendants of Choctaw people. That's what we got to get to the point because it's fair. I ask any of my white brethren, any of them, you have a life insurance policy? Oh, yes, I do. Who are the beneficiaries? Oh, the people that I love. What if I said, give it to me? They say, oh, you must be out of your mind. I said, why won't you just give me what you had to pay out to the people that you love? Oh, because I'm giving it to the people that I love. Are you out of your fucking mind? That's what Bone said to Spock one time. He said, Spock, are you out of your fucking mind? And so when I asked some of my white friends that don't believe in reparations, I mean, erstwhile friends, but they say it's for the people that they love. I said, yeah, but why would it go to the people you love? Why can't I choose who the money goes to? They said, what? Are you out of your fucking mind? Well, they never gave back the homestead money or the land. They get the compound interest, eighth wonder of the world, according to Einstein. And they're still owning land all over the place. So why would you argue that you should be able to give the beneficiaries of your life insurance policy to the people that you love, but you tell black Americans they don't deserve to have be the beneficiaries of the people that loved us, our ancestry? That's a double on, how can you say that? That's an oxymoron. How can you say you deserve to be as a beneficiary of a life insurance policy to get it from people who loved you and to bequeath to the next generation of people that you love your resources, money, land, material? How could you say that and then say black Americans don't deserve that? Descendants of chattel slavery, African Americans. It's erroneous even in a thought, but it's happened. And most thieves don't give anything back unless it's taken back. The government can do it. They rob black Americans. They should give it back. That's why Executive Order 13985, that 00 text to me from President Biden. Google HR 40. Google AB 3121 for reparations for descendants of chattel slavery. It's more important than winning a football game. But I told you Senator Bradford, the #1 senator in the history of the universe, right now has a legislation, SB 490, Freedmen's Bureau, California. What's Freedmen's Bureau, Big C? Freedmen's Bureau in California, like the Freedmen's Bureau that Lincoln signed back in 1865 for descendants of chattel slavery to put their money. And in order to have a payout, there has to be a payout system, and that's a Freedmen's Bureau of California. He's not standing up for the kickoff. Touchdown! Home run! Three-point play! Oh, man, Willie! He's going all the way! That's not what Senator Bradford's doing. He's using legislation to help create reparations for descendants of chattel slavery. I want to give him praise. He loves football, too. But you can do more than one. That's what I want to do with this sport. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I just got to say one more thing before I get into Big C Sports, because so many of us, we just want to play with the balls, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I got to play this because I want to pay homage to the greatest speaker in the history of the universe. Listen to it.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. This is what we are faced with. And this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
That's important that you hear that. You hear that on Big C Sports. I love Dr. King. And a lot of people say they love Dr. King. And he was great. He was a great man. At the same time, we never got the reparations that we deserve. And that's what I want to do at Big C Sports, to make sure we get it. If we don't get it now, as we stand up for the kickoff, then when will we get it? I want to make sure that I do my part. That's just who I am as Big C Sports. I love sports as much as anybody, but I got to do my part in communicating to everybody that understands it's time to do it. It's just time to do it, and we give that some praise as we stand up for the kickoff. Well, now that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I was telling you at Super Bowl 58 in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, what a great game it was, the 49ers and the Chiefs. It went down to the wire, but how do you make the most of it? If you're Kansas City, they've shown how dominant they are as a team. And at the same time, if you think about how great you can be, you give them some praise, they deserve it. If you think about how great you can be as a team and winning something like the Super Bowl, can you imagine getting a chance to do it again? And now they're talking about a three-peat, and they may just be good enough to get it. That to me has to be scary to a lot of other teams around the league. If you get this team another chance to wrap their hands around the Lombardi Trophy, who's to say they won't get it? Especially when they have touchdown Patrick Mahomes. And so it was, as we stand up for the kickoff, it was Super Bowl 58 in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada at Allegiant Stadium. And it was just a great football game. And they determined who the champion would be this year. They did it on the field. They didn't do it in the voting booth. They did it on the field. NFL 2023 season is completed in a rematch of the Super Bowl that they had played just a few years ago in Super Bowl 54. 4 years earlier, the AFC champion, defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, they defeated the NFC champion, San Francisco 49ers, 25-22. It took overtime, and the Chiefs became the first team to win back-to-back Super Bowls since the New England Patriots did so back in 2004 and 2005. The game was played February 11th, 2024 at beautiful Allegiant Stadium, and they call it Paradise, Nevada, but it's Las Vegas. It was the first Super Bowl to be held in the state of Nevada. Give them some praise. It was a great atmosphere, great event, and it marked the third straight year that the Super Bowl has been played in the western United States, following host cities like Inglewood, California, Los Angeles, and Glendale, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. So when you think about these two great teams, the 49ers finished 12-5, Kansas City finished 11-6. What a time it was had by all. I can't tell you what importance it is to a lot of people in Northern California that made the trip to Las Vegas, as well as people from Kansas City, as this was the Chiefs' fourth Super Bowl appearance and third win in 5 years. And many have said this game established them as a dynasty. Are they a dynasty? Well, the Steelers won 2 in a row back in the day. The Patriots did 2 in a row back in the day. In fact, the Steelers won 4 in 6 years. The 49ers have gone back-to-back back in the day. The Cowboys went back-to-back back in the day. So I would say Kansas City's just as good as they are. And when you think about it, decided by overtime. It was the second Super Bowl to be decided by overtime. The first time when I saw in the first quarter of this game, it looked like Patrick Mahomes was not Patrick Mahomes. But he came on to be who he is. And the Chiefs quarterback, Patrick, he was named Super Bowl 58 most valuable player. He was 34-46 passes for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception. And then the game sellout attendance was 62,629. That was the smallest crowd in Super Bowl history. Isn't that something? The game was televised nationally by CBS and streamed on Paramount, alternatively broadcast on youth-oriented sister network Nickelodeon, and televised on the Spanish-language network Univision. It was also the second simulcast of a Super Bowl in the history of the game. And when you think about Super Bowl 58, it became the most watched program in American television history. And 75% of the players are black, African American. So people tune in to watch black Americans to perform. We need that many membership to tune in to say reparations now, reparations forever. Protect your assets. You got to protect your assets with RDC as business consulting, business development, Big C Sports. I want to let people know we can help you with business and also individual opportunities. Protect your assets. Commercial, and sometimes people say I have a speech impediment. But back to the game. It was the most watched program in American television history, with a total of 123.4 million average viewers across all platforms. That broke the average record of 115.1 million viewers set the previous year's Super Bowl, the Eagles and the Chiefs. The game saw the highest unduplicated total audience in history, with more than 200 million viewers all watching part of the game, if not all of it. It was the most watched United States broadcast since the Apollo 11 moon landing. You got to give NFL some praise. In that same NFL, they have end racism on the back of their end zones. I give them praise for that too. They can do more, but I give them praise for that. To me, it's more than just watching athletes perform. I believe in doing the right thing for everybody, but I got to make sure that I'm part of that everybody with Big C Sports. I love what I do. I don't want to be like everybody else. I listen to show after show after show, and they just talk about entertainment. Have you not been entertained? Nothing wrong with entertainment. I love it too. But Super Bowl 58 MVP, it goes to touchdown Patrick Mahomes. He claims Super Bowl 58 MVP award. Now that is going to cement his case as one of the league's all-time greats. And now Patrick Mahomes, he owns 3 Super Bowl MVPs. 2 against the 49ers and 1 against the Chiefs. He's amazing. He's just an amazing player. He shares the honor with Joe Montana, the legendary San Francisco 49er 3-time winner. He's also now trailing the record breaker in MVP nods for Tom Brady as a legendary 7-time Super Bowl winner of the game's top individual honor 5 times. And when I think about the game, the 49ers scored first and held a 10-0 lead just before halftime. It was 10-0, and they were going bang, bang, 9 a game. Bang, bang, 9 a game. And then the Chiefs converted a chip shot field goal to make the score 10-3 at the end of the second quarter. Mahomes and the Chiefs needed to mount a comeback to win their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years, and they did just that, scoring 19 points in the second half to bring overtime. And people want to jump on Kyle Shanahan in the Bay Area saying, oh, he let another league get away. Last I checked, I don't think Kyle Shanahan played in this game. And last I checked, I think the 49ers got to the Super Bowl. This is the second time in 5 years. They've been to the NFC Championship game 4 out of 5 years. So why people want to jump on Shanahan, I don't know. They want to blame somebody, as opposed to saying, you got Patrick Mahomes, you're probably going to win more of the games than you lose. That's just a fact. If you have that player, he's a run-pass option. He reminds me of Colin Kaepernick. And people say what they want to say, but since the 49ers refused to keep Colin Kaepernick on their team and they tried to make him an anti-American military, they've kind of fallen on some tough times when it comes to winning championships. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but my goodness, they have a quarterback in touchdown Patrick Mahomes that remind me of Colin Kaepernick when he set the NFL record in the playoffs for passes, yards thrown, and rush against Green Bay. That was back in, I want to say 2013. So Mahomes trolled a double digit for all 4 of his Super Bowl appearances, and he proved once again that his 7-point deficit, it means nothing to him. He missed just on 2 of 13 attempts in the first half, averaging 9.5 yards per attempt. He finished the game 34-46, 333 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He added 66 yards rushing. Give that brother some praise! Descendants of child of slavery. Imagine when we cheer for reparations the way we cheer for athletes. And the Chiefs were to come back on Sunday. They needed to stop committing self-inflicted mistakes in the second half. Mahomes hit wide out Nicole Hartman for a 52-yard completion to San Francisco's 9-yard line with 13:01 remaining in the second quarter. He set up the Chiefs with 1st and goal. It was the 3rd longest pass of Patrick Mahomes' career. That deep shot looked like the spark that Kansas City needed, but running back Isaiah Pacheco fumbled 1 play later, and his miscues cost the Chiefs really it cost them at that time. But they came back. Their defense was all over the place. Bagnola had a great game plan against the 49ers. I thought they should have ran Christian McCaffrey more because he's the leading rusher in the NFL for the 2023 season. He should have had the ball more in the second half. I know they were trying to get it to him and mix it up. But Deebo Samuel did have a little hitch in his giddy up. That may have slowed down what they wanted to do. Kinlaw went out. When he grabbed his knee, they said he tore an Achilles or stretched his Achilles. And then he was so banged up, they had him go off in the front seat of a stretcher, not in the back seat. How does that make sense? I have no idea. And then you think about Travis Kelce. He had posted just one target, one catch, and 1 yard in the first half. He was spotted yelling at his coach, Andy Reid. I mean, I've seen that many, many times. He was pulled for backup tight end, Noah Gray. But in the second half, the Chiefs' issues got resolved in the locker room. They committed just one turnover after the half, and Kelce got more involved, including a 22-yard reception on third down with seconds remaining in regulation, which set up the game-time field goal. He finished with 9 catches for 93 yards. And in overtime touchdown, Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs down the field for a victory on a 13-play, 75-yard drive that gave the Chiefs their first back-to-back Super Bowl championship. In franchise history, you got to give them the praise. I know it's great for Bang Bang Night again, but this team has been doing it. They're amazing. That's their 4th Super Bowl in 5 years. And they could have gone again earlier when the New England got in. I thought that would bad reffing that cost Kansas City that team. But it marked the 2nd Super Bowl ever to go into overtime as Kansas City became the first team to repeat as Super Bowl champions since the 2003-2004 New England Patriots. And Kansas City recorded 7 comebacks of 10 or more. Think about it. The 7th comeback at 10 or more points in a Super Bowl. You got to tell me that team knows how to play. I want to give them praise because it's not easy to win a Super Bowl. And then you go to touchdown Patrick Mahomes. That's what I call him with Big C Sports. He also won the MVP award in the 2022 regular season after leading the NFL in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and nearly every other quarterback metric. It was the 2nd MVP of his career. He also took time to take home the trophy. He took home the trophy. After the 2019 campaign, his first season as a Kansas City Chiefs starter. He's such an amazing player. Defeating the Eagles in 2022, Mahomes became just the 10th player in NFL history to win the MVP and the Lombardi Trophy in the same season. You got to give that some praise. So many great players when you think about that. And he's able to join that list. Who's that list, Big C? That list that he joined, 1966 Green Bay Packers quarterback Bart Starr, because his offensive line learned to protect his assets. 800-772-8624. And then 1978 Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Terry Bradshaw, his offensive line protected his assets. 1982 Washington kicker Mark Mosley. What a great offensive line. They learned to protect his assets. Great asset protection. 1986 New York Giants linebacker, the great Lawrence Taylor, because he would not allow the offensive line to forget him from getting to his opponent's quarterback assets. If that makes sense to you. 1989 San Francisco 49ers quarterback Joe Montana, because his offensive line, along with the great Chuck Thomas, learned to protect his assets. If that makes sense to you. And then 1993 Dallas Cowboy running back Emmitt Smith, his offensive line learned to protect his assets. If that makes sense to you. 1994 San Francisco 49ers quarterback Steve Young, because his offensive line learned to protect his assets. If that makes sense to you. 1996 Green Bay Packers quarterback Brett Favre, his offensive line learned to protect his assets. If that makes sense to you. I'm making my commercial as I speak. 1999 St. Louis quarterback Kurt Warner, his offensive line, the greatest show on turf, learned to protect his assets. If that makes sense to you. In 2023, the Kansas City Chiefs, their offensive line learned to protect quarterback touchdown Patrick Mahomes, his assets. If that makes sense to you. 800-772-8624. 800-772-8624. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I'm telling you, he's already a Hall of Fame. He's on track for it. Just a great player. He will solidify his history. He already has, in my opinion. Every player to win regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP the same year have eventually been enshrined in Canton, Ohio, except kicker Mark Mosley. So Mahomes now has 3 Super Bowls and 2 MVP awards under his belt. He's the 3rd player ever to win 3 Super Bowls, most valuable player, joining Tom Brady, has 5, and Pro Bowl Hall of Famer Joe Montana has 3. So when you think about players, That's why the Chiefs won. You can't say, oh, Shanahan called a bad game. But people are going to say that because they want to find someone to blame. But when you look at, it's like Michael Jordan when he played with the Bulls. Was it someone's fault on Utah, Karl Malone or John Stockton, that Michael Jordan played for the Bulls? When they beat the Seattle Supersonics, was it Kim's fault that Jordan played for the Bulls? When they beat Portland Trailblazers, was it Clyde Drexler's fault? No, he was playing against Michael Jordan. When they beat the Suns, was it Charles Barkley's fault? No, he was playing against Michael Jordan. Sometimes the best players tend to win. Sometimes the best race car tends to be the one that has the best pit crew and the best driver. The best baseball team, oftentimes they have the best pitching and the best hitters. And oftentimes you got to give that some praise because people want to find someone to blame. But I'm just telling you, there's something about the Super Bowl this year. I love giving it praise. Big C Sport on spot to cover the Super Bowl. Really do appreciate that. Also, I want to thank Double O for some contributions as well. And Super Bowl 58 was amazing. Also had a great business trip along with Super Bowl. And I just appreciate so many things that happened. But I gotta get into something. I'm still gonna cover some Super Bowl this week, but it is Black History Month. In Black History Month, we should have had reparations now, reparations forever. That's what I'm looking for. That won't take much longer. It won't take much longer, but I gotta bring up something that many people may not even think about. Because I love Black history. All life is Black history because all life came from Africa. That's important for me to say that. You're only gonna hear that on Big C Sports, and I'm very proud of it. But I want to tell you, as part of the co-chair of the National Black Wall Street Project, go on to nationalblackwallstreetproject.com and register. It's free, nationalblackwallstreet.com project, and register for free. I want to tell you, Black History Month, there is a mobile Black Main Street. You believe that? A mobile Black Main Street. As people think that Black Main Street is something that is everywhere, it's not really everywhere. And we're trying to figure it out. But today's Black History Spotlight is not a person, but the once thriving hub of the African American community in Mobile. Davis Avenue, now named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue, in the 1940s and through 1970s was known as Black Main Street. You got to realize how powerful that is. Because we're bringing back the Black diaspora in business. A lot of communities work together in business. We're trying to do the same thing with the National Black Wall Street Project. And then it was the hub of Black-owned businesses and venues. There were movie theaters, grocery stores, funeral parlors, churches, barbershops, hairdressers, tailors, restaurants, pool halls, record stores, a plethora of business. Urban renewal in the 1970s divided the community. You got to think about the government. It's amazing what happened in our communities. Urban renewal in the 1970s divided the community and removed more than half of the businesses and resources on the avenue. The United States government did that. When they say, pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Really? Every time we tried, they toned it down. That's why we're asking them to participate in reparations for the descendants of child slavery. That's why it's important that people, as far as me, myself, and I are concerned, I refuse to just be a guy that talks about sports. Because most of those NFL owners, they come, you trace their ancestry, a lot of them came from that homestead money in the United States. How'd they get the head start, Big C? How'd they get the head start, Big C? I told you, Google the Homestead Act, 1863. 1862 and 63, actually. It had to be implemented. And they got a head start, more than Black Americans. And we know that's true. So I just want to make sure that with Big C Sports, I do my part. I don't want to just come on and talk about who won a game. I think that would be disingenuous to my ancestry. I just told you, for those of you who don't believe in reparations, have you ever had a life insurance policy bequeath you anything? Remember in the movie Dumb and Dumber, when Jerry Maguire, he said, "Show me the money." That wasn't Dumb and Dumber, Big C. That was Jerry Maguire. Okay, but he still says, "Show me the money." It's about a football player. Cuba Gooding Jr. was in that movie. But you know what they were all getting? They were getting paid. So I don't know anyone that would go against descendants of child slavery getting reparations. And that's why I can only control what I can control. With the Big C team, Resource Development Consulting, we're going to go all around the world talking to every professional sports league and every professional athlete. 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624. Have you learned how to protect your assets? Because I did a show on Big C Sports. It was a couple weeks ago. And I'm gonna cover it more. As much as we love to stand up for the kickoff and we want to cheer for our athletes. And I'm very grateful to be able to be a part of the sports business since really about 1986. Actually, I'm big part 1996. And I love doing that. But I want to make sure that I'm more than just that. I don't want that to be, he just talked about sports and that was it. We had the NBA trend line and already passed by. But I'm going to be talking about this week also, now that the NFL is over, is something that you need. 800-772-8624. Because 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624, whether you're a business or individual, we're going to tie you into people to help you protect your assets. It's important. Retired athletes, there's some lessons some retired athletes have made very well known. Retired athletes too often face financial ruin, according to an authoritative by Sports Illustrated. It says approximately 78% of NFL players either go bankrupt or face some serious financial stress within 2 years in their playing careers, while 60% of NBA players are broke within 5 years of retiring because no one learned to protect their assets. What did they say? Protect your assets. And that's what I'm doing with Resource Development Consulting Inc. Going around the country. That's what I can contribute to the world with Big C Sports. It's more than just who won a game. And that's very important to me. I just want to say it. More recent data from the National Bureau of Economic Research estimate that 2% of retired football players file for bankruptcy within the first 2 years of retirement. Almost 60% by year 12. When they no longer yell, touchdown, home run, 3-point play. Oh, man, Willie, he's going all the way to protect his assets. Assets. Like no assets. Your assets, 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624. Well, that's my story that I'm sticking with it. I love Super Bowl 58. Didn't like the outcome as much because I got started in San Francisco, also another world. But I do want to thank everyone involved with Big C Sports all around the universe, going and rising and shining. Well, as I always tell you, that's my thought. That's my thought that I'm sticking with it. If you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink. Because mothers against drunk drivers are mad. And fathers against drunk drivers are mad. It's one of the easiest things not to do. You can call Uber. You can call Lyft. You can walk it off. You can sleep it off. But don't get behind the wheel of a car after you've been drinking and driving. The life you save may be your own or someone you love. That's my story and I'm sticking with it. I want to thank my beautiful family, from my great-grandparents, my parents, my beautiful mom and dad, of course, the best mother in the history of the universe. Always saying rise and shine. My beautiful brothers and sisters. My beautiful daughter Daisy, the most beautiful daughter in the history of the universe. My beautiful handsome son Malcolm, the most handsome son in the history of the universe. Always trust God, Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against me to prosper. I love you with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. You will be getting your reparations soon. And then Big C, all that wealth and knowledge over the years, always saying you gotta believe, you gotta believe, you gotta believe. Let's get ready to rumble. I love to say welcome to the show. And we nominated Big C Sports Podcast. Back in the day, there's a man known by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He's known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, he said, you float like a butterfly and you sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. He said, with all you got to use, how can you lose? Ali said, I'm so pretty. I can't possibly be beat. Every time I listen to Big C Sports, I want to say reparations now, reparations forever. And then I float like a butterfly and I sting like a bee. There's none greater than Muhammad Ali. And what I always do is want to say thank you for following Big C Sports. My beautiful mother always says there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. No man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. Somebody that says, you made me mad, I gotta go beside your head. Call 911. Never let someone put their hand up beside your head. Call 911. Let them feel what it's like to be hurt. Someone who loves you, they would never put their hand on you. You need more LEADA in your life. What's LEADA, Big C? LEADA is an acronym for love is the answer. Anyone that puts their hands on you, they don't love you. I only did it because I was mad. I only did it because you stood up in the way when I was watching the game. I only did it because you said, where do you go today? No one should ever have to go through that garbage. Call 911 if that happens to you. That's my story, and I'm taking it with it. Well, as I always tell you, aren't you going to honor Abraham Lincoln and Dr. King? Say, yes, I am. Give me a chance, bro. In honor of President Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King Jr., I want to say, from my heart to yours, reparations now, reparations forever. Come on, you cheer a lot at the Super Bowl parties. What did Lincoln and Dr. King say? They say pay reparations now, pay reparations forever. Come on, you guys cheerleader, you cheered louder at the Super Bowl 58 celebrations. Say it like you mean it. Say reparations now, reparations forever. I thank you. I appreciate you for following Big C Sports, and I hope that you have a super fantastic day.